Man, what's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? This is the first podcast that I'm recording this year. It's probably like two of them that came out already, but this is the first podcast that I'm recording this. I was about to say semester. I'm in school, by the way, but this year, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling motivated to share this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm glad y'all can join on this Tuesday, 10 a.m. If you're not here at 10 a.m., I'm glad you can join in general. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we can be here today and show some love to each other. You know what I'm saying? I hope you doing well on your financial journey. I hope you doing what you got to do. I ain't go cap with you. You know what I'm saying? I had to just look over and make sure I was recording. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been like, that is tough. You feel me? Hey, but today's podcast is going to be about how to create a monthly budget. Y'all might ask, man, I know how to create a budget. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. But it's a budget that I use that I really enjoy and that I really would like to share with you guys on this today. You know what I'm saying? So, a budget, you may ask, what is a budget? What is it used for? You know what I'm saying? A budget is a plan, it's a plan that it is a plan, something you will do every single month. You want to take control of your money. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, before I used the even thought about using a budget, I was just spending. Oh, I got this. But towards the end of the month, I realized I didn't even have enough for this bill, for that bill, for this bill, or enough to get gas. You know what I'm saying? A budget legit saved me and my family. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, the God saved me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of Christ. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, He has saved me. You feel me? So, but budgeting is a plan that you will use every single month, and you will take control of your money. Step one of creating a budget, you list all your income. And I did a little example for y'all, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully I can follow with this example. So income is considered normal income. It could be considered any extra income as well. If you're married, your spouse income, you want to list every single income. So this is my example budget. It's not my budget. It's just an example budget. And remember, it's per month at that. Not per week, per month. So you want to total, if you get paid weekly, you want to total up how much your typical paychecks is for that month and so forth. So say, for example, your main job is $1,000. Then your spouse job is $1,000. And say you got a little side business, you know what I'm saying? You really making that bread. It's $500. For That's my example. So your total income for that month would be $2,500. $2,500, and that'd be your total income. So that's how you do it. So any income that you get, it could be from any place that you get an income every single month. It could be child support. It could be anything. You make sure you include that in your budget. So step two of creating a budget, you want to make sure you list all your expenses. But one thing you always want to take care of first is your four walls. You know what I'm saying? That includes food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. You always want to make sure you take care of that first. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take care of one of those, it could be detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Because you may need a transport. It could be bike, car, bus. It could be anything. You need your transportation and you need your shelter. You know what I'm saying? Even if you living in an apartment or you living in a house, you want to write down your rent / mortgage payments, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? All right. So you always want to make sure you create different categories for your budget categories, and you want to include subcategories in there. So for example, like this is like actually for my budget, like for my food budget, I have a grocery budget and maybe a eating out budget. You know what I'm saying? Even though my eating out budget is 0 right now, but I do have a grocery budget in there. So you want to create subcategories within your categories. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much so say your budget category is food, then you got groceries in there and whatever the amount you may anticipate on using for that month. You know what I'm saying? You can't just put any number either, because it can't exceed your income. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you really think about it and really go through this. So, for example, another example of a budget category could be utilities, which can include electricity, water, and natural gases. You know what I'm saying? And another category can be housing, which, say, if you living in a home, it can have fees included with that, or it could be your mortgage, or if you live in an apartment, it could be your rent. You know what I'm saying? Another category would be considered transportation. And with transportation, it could be just daily, it could be car maintenance, you know what I'm saying? Maybe your car need monthly maintenance or whatever the case may be. It can include, like, say, for example, like car wash. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep your car clean. You know, that's when you want to include that in your budget. You know what I'm saying? You want to especially include gasoline for sure. So for example, like, say, like rent and stuff, we consider those fixed. We consider those fixed expenses. Pretty much fixed expenses is where it does not change from month to month. So say your rent or your mortgage is $1,500 a month. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be $1,500 next month as well. You know what I'm saying? Unless you live rent control, but that's out of our control, and you plan for those things as well. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they let you know ahead of time, you want to plan for it. And then also you want to list all other expenses, but you want to start with what is the most important. That don't include your four walls, because remember, you did your four walls first in the budget category. So this includes your debt, child care, insurance, and more. You know what I'm saying? You want to consider what's important to you. You know what I'm saying? Buying that new purse, it's not that important. Hey, buying that new game, it's not that important. But also, if you plan on doing that and you want to budget for it as well, you know what I'm saying? And if somebody trying to influence you to do something outside of your budget, just tell them, I can't do it. I can't do it. You want to stick to your budget. Be loyal to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to have them non-important categories such as fun, money, and entertainment. Maybe it could be subscriptions and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So step 3 of creating a budget, you want to subtract expenses from income. That's what you want to do. Subtract your expenses. If you don't know what expenses is what pretty much, how can I put it? It's pretty much, say boom, you got your income, which creates more income for you. And say if I go buy a $20 Big Mac, if I don't know where you're getting the $20 Big Mac, but say for some reason McDonald's starts selling a $20 Big Mac, that is considered an expense. You know what I'm saying? So you want to subtract your expenses from your income. So you want to subtract all your expenses from your income, and when you subtract it, it should equal 0. Because the type of budget that I create is called the zero-based budgeting. You want to give every single dollar a name. It could be savings, giving, spending, including paying off debt. Then step 4 of creating a budget, you want to track your expenses throughout the month. As I explained expenses in a previous step, you want to make sure you track every single one of them. Let me give you an example of tracking expenses. Like I said, say this is how you want to track it. So say if your gas budget for your transportation category, so for your vehicle, if your gas budget is $200 a month, right? And this is where you track your expense. And the gas costs you $40. So now you can have a visual mindset, visual observation of that. Now you don't have $200 left in your budget for the month. Now you down to $160 for the month. So that means you have $160 remaining for the month of whatever month you may be budgeting for. So, but you want to do that with every single budget category. If you didn't include an expense for a budget, like say clothes, and you got it at 0, try not to break your budget. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. Then also, step 5 of creating a budget, you also want to make a new budget before the month begins. So this is a monthly process. If you have a spouse, make sure you include them include them a part of that journey as well, because that's highly important, because you want to be involved. So if you single, you do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But you also say if you got your mom Dukes, you know what I'm saying, Papa Dukes, you know what I'm saying. You want somebody to hold you accountable that's accountable to themselves. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to share this with somebody, you can do that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because these tips can help anybody who may be struggling with creating a budget or who don't know the first steps of creating a budget. Because at one point, I didn't know how to create a budget. Let me give you guys a couple of tips. So you always want to stay accountable. You want to keep from overspending, which is highly important. And you also want to stay on top of your budget no matter what, and learn and adjust your spending habits. When you first do it, it may be a struggle, you know what I'm saying? But as you go on throughout the months, it'll become easier and become like secondhand nature. You know what I'm saying? But you always want to do it with your partner. Like, you always want to have, like, let's say, for example, like budget meetings. Like, before the month begins, I try to have a budget meeting with my spouse so we can be on the same page together. That's mostly what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Just being on the same page and working together. That's it. And if you wonder what, you can use paper. Like when I first started, I used paper. You can use Excel sheets. You can use it anywhere. But right now, I'm currently using an app called EveryDollar. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. But I am not sponsored. I spend approximately like $120 for the year. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sponsored for it. But it's also a multiple free apps that you can use and that you should use, especially if you don't know how your budget is yet. The first, like, I think I just said it, but when I firstly did it, it was on paper. I like to see everything in writing. And once I got the hang of it, I wanted it on the app. Because with the app I use, it integrated with my where I can connect my bank. So pretty much when I spend, it'll show up my transaction, which I can just send that to the category and I can visually see on the go of how much I got left. You feel me? And that's what I truly recommend you guys do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to run over the steps real quick for y'all again, but I ain't going to go into detail. You know what I'm saying? So step 1, you want to list all your income. Then you want to list your expenses for step 2. And step 3, you want to subtract the expenses from income. Step 4, track your expenses throughout the month. Step 5, make a new budget before the month begins every single month. You know what I'm saying? And that's including, if you have a business, you don't want to include a business budget with your personal budget. You want to keep all that separate, and that's what I truly recommend. Hey, but man, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm glad y'all joined me on this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I really hope y'all doing well in y'all journey, you know what I'm saying? Because that's truly important. And, you know, if y'all ever want to hit me up, y'all can do that, and we can just share stories, or I can try to give you the best advice I can that I'm knowledgeable about. If I don't know about a situation, you know what I'm saying? I can always find different resources for y'all and send it to you guys if y'all would like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to withhold any knowledge that I have. It's important that we all know this and we all get better as a community, and we just grow. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but make sure y'all share this with y'all family, your folks. You know what I'm saying? You care about them, go ahead and share it with them. You know what I'm saying? Even though they might not listen to it now, I'm still struggling to get my family to listen to it. It's not even about listening. I tried to give them this information. They still struggling. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily struggling financially. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying struggling to just follow a path of financial path and just educating themselves throughout the years. You know, they living on autopilot. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's okay. I'ma still try to involve them into this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very important to me that I share this knowledge with everyone. So, with that being said, man, make sure y'all stay up and stay blessed. Y'all know what it is. That's on my mama.